We live in very, very interesting times. We live in challenging times too. We live in times when everything is moving from actual reality, physical meetings to virtual meetings. What will the public speaker do? In the last 1 year, most of my events, most of the trainings I've been involved with have been done online. I've been part of Zoom conferences, seminars, workshops, have been part of, events all over the world from my living room. Indeed, we live in very interesting times. All right, so not many people are used to virtual meetings, and so the speaker, that public speaker who is interested, who makes money or earns a living from real meetings, from events and workshops and seminars, how will he make money? What should he do? How should he start thinking? How do you position yourself to take advantage of the internet, take advantage of the virtual revolution, the digital revolution, and generate money while still making impact? Hello, my name is George Asian. Welcome to Public Speaking School, and today we'll be talking about the public speaker and the internet. It's very important that you understand this. A lot of meetings will go virtual. How do you position yourself strategically to take advantage of the digital revolution, make impact, and also make money? Now, we're going to go on a very long ride, really. But what we're going to do is we're going to break this topic, or break this whole issue, I call it an issue, two different parts. So we'll have a part today, and then maybe in the subsequent days and weeks we will look at other parts of it, because there's a lot to cover when it comes to the internet and as it relates to the speaker. What are those websites that you should be in or you should use as a public speaker? We'll start with the first one. The first one is Google, right? Google. So what do we use Google to do as speakers? We use Google, all right? Google is the world's #1 search engine. We use Google for research, and we also use Google for content development. I often tell my students, public speaking students, that it is better to be prepared and not have opportunity than to have opportunity and not be prepared. You must always be preparing. Oprah Winfrey says that success is when preparation meets opportunity. Your opportunity will come. Abraham Lincoln adds, he said, I will prepare and my opportunity will come. When opportunity comes, when that virtual meeting opportunity comes, when that speaking invitation comes, will you be prepared? So what Google does for us is that it enables us to prepare. The speaker is always preparing, always putting together content, always gathering materials, always getting information. So Google serves as your research tool, much like your encyclopedia or the materials you have in your house, and for content development. You should be always developing yourself. Now, so as a speaker, how do I use Google for content development, and how do I use Google to do my research? Number one, when I have a topic, it doesn't matter what topic it might be, one of the things I have to do is that I'll go to Google and search for quotes around the topic. We have different kinds of quotes. We have proverbs, we have maxims, we have historical quotes, we have contemporary quotes, we have political quotes, we have famous quotes. So I'll go to Google and search for quotes for my presentation. Sometimes I'll click on the image section, and what I'll do is I'll download pictorial quotes, sometimes with the images of the people who make those quotes, for my slides and my presentation. So that's the first thing I use Google for, to get powerful quotes, relevant quotes as it relates to the topic. Another thing I use Google, and of course the internet, not just Google, the internet generally, is that I search for articles on that topic. Now, there's nothing you want to speak about, no subject matter that you want to speak about that somebody hasn't done a research, done an article, a short one or a long one, done a book, an ebook, done a video. So I could go out looking for articles, on the internet, especially on Google. So I search. Now, one of the things I noticed that a lot of us do is that when we search for materials, we click on the first page and probably the second page, but we don't go to the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh. Sometimes one topic has a lot of materials down to the 50,000 page. You can have a lot of materials. The ones that come to the front are those ones that are optimized. We call it search engine optimization. It doesn't always mean that they have the best of materials. It just means that for whatever reason, maybe they use keywords, or maybe for whatever reason they are just in front. They run Google ads, so they're right in front. When you search, you find them. It doesn't mean they have the best materials. When you're doing your research using the internet or using Google, you want to go beyond the first page, the second page, the third page. You want to go as far. You want to look at not just that. You also want to look at images, because from images you can click to view the website and get materials from there. You also want to go on and on to the videos, all right, to see videos. And usually we know that Google owns YouTube, so you want to go to Google and YouTube and then check out some videos on that materials. And if you have the time, you can download the videos on YouTube into your YouTube channel. Of course, if you have a Gmail account, you do have a YouTube channel. All you have to do is just start uploading videos. We'll talk about that in a jiffy. But basically, you want to go down and download videos. And if you want to download those videos into your phone, there are many apps you can use to do that. YouTube downloaders. You could also use savefrom.net. SAVEFROM.net. I'm just recommending it's an application, mobile application. You can also use the website, copy the YouTube link, place it there, and you can download that video directly into your phone. You have the time, you watch it, you take down notes. It's important that you write down some of the websites I'll be sharing and some of the information I'll be giving to you, because they'll be very valuable. So you don't just look at the all. When you look Google when you click on Google, you have all. You have the images. You also have videos, and then of course you have news. So for that topic, you want to find out what's the latest news, so that you're not discussing outdated issues. So you can also click on news on that particular topic. That's how you use Google. All right. So you also want to look up for famous stories. Now, famous stories on that subject matter. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're talking about purpose. Is there any focus? Is there any famous story around a famous individual who was very focused, and whose story you can use in your presentation, you can get and put into your presentation? Is there any individual, any precedent, any story, any analogy? Is there any short story? Why do you use the internet, and why do you use Google? How do you use it? You can also use to look up for statistics. What shows that you as a speaker, you're truly prepared, is the fact that you embellish your presentation with statistics. Now, statistics gives you that feeling that you're prepared, and you've got to be careful. Whenever you use a statistic in any presentation, make sure that you quote the source. Make sure you tell them the source. This is where I got this statistics from. Don't just say 55% of people do these and you don't quote the source, because you see, never underrate the intelligence of your audience or the people watching you. They are smart, and they could just take up their phone, search on Google, and tell you, guy, you're not doing it right, you're not saying it right. So the internet is used for research, and the internet is also used for content development, especially Google. Now, Google is the world's #1 search engine, and it's not just for looking for materials. Put together by Lawrence Page and Sergey Brin. These are fantastic guys. They put together that website, and of course they were Stanford Bridge students doing PhD, and they began putting materials together. They felt, okay, let's have more content put in our website so that people can search from all over the world. It's the world's #1 search engine, but there are other search engines. Yahoo is a search engine also. You also have Axe.com is a search engine. Quora is a search engine. Facebook also can serve as a search engine. But I want to tell you the slight difference in approach and thinking of people when it comes to Facebook and Google. So Google is not just used for research and content. Of course, I told you that Google also owns YouTube. But you see, beyond that, for the speaker, and for the speaker who wants to be strategically positioned on the internet, you have to find a way not just to be so much on social media, which is good and has its place. You also want to find a way to be on Google. Now, if I write your name, yes, your name, whatever name it is, and I search on Google, what comes out? Now, if you did that right now, pick up your phone and then search your name on Google, who shows up first? The person who shows up first in the Google search of your name is the one that will be engaged. The person who shows up first in the Google search of your name will be engaged. So if, for example, you are 18 book Ikpeyon or Kunle Adewale, that's your name. Now you know that there are many Kunle Adewales in the world, in Nigeria and in the world, in Africa. And you put that Kunle Adewale on the internet and you search, or that's on Google, and then you search. Which Kunle Adewale shows up? Is it your name that shows up? Because we have plenty, obviously it might not be your name. If, for example, you have a Facebook account and you search, well, and others also have a Facebook account, plenty will show up, right? There are times when I'm searching on Facebook for somebody's name and I see many similar names, right? On Google, it happens like that. Now, how do you become the first? Your goal as a public speaker is to, when they search your name, they should find you at the first. So if you search for George Asian, the name George, we have a number of people who will be at George Asian, but if you search for George Asian on Google, my name comes out first, and I'll tell you how that is possible. You can do that. For you to be found, because and the person who's on the first page will be engaged, like seriously, you get a lot of engagement, calls and so on. Now, if you have your face, if all the George Asians have a social media account, of course that will appear on first page. But the moment somebody, one of the George Asians, in this case as example, chooses to have a blog, or chooses to have a YouTube channel, or chooses to have a website, that person who does that ranks first. So there's no George Asian. The only GeorgeAsian.com in the world is me. So I got that domain name many years ago, like 8 years or 9 years ago. And so when you search for George Asian, because I have a primary domain name, GeorgeAsian.com, it appears first. I also have blogs. I also have a YouTube channel. And so there are other George Asians, all right? And so they would also appear if they have perhaps a website or that. So, but you really need to rank first so that you can be engaged. Beyond ranking first with your name, so that when you're found, you search for, you also want to be ranking on the first page of your industry. Now, public speaking is a huge industry, all right? And if you search for public speaking in the world, you see top speakers like Brian Tracy, like Anthony Robbins, and so on. But if you search for your constituency, maybe South of Nigeria or Africa, will you appear? Now, let's talk about Nigeria, because obviously I live in Nigeria. If you search for top speakers, public speakers in Nigeria, my website or my information and details also shows first. If you click on the images, you would also see me somewhere around the corner. If you don't see me on the first page, you'll see me on the second page. If you click on videos, because I provide a lot of YouTube content like this one, and by the way, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just look out for George Asian on YouTube and then click on subscribe, and so you can get to have updates. You can also click on the notification button so that every time there's a new video showing up, you can get to see it. So videos. So you need to, when you search for top speakers in Nigeria, that's what you see. How do you rank on the first page? This is so important. You do that by consistently blogging. We'll discuss that in a jiffy. Consistently providing content, because Google is favorable towards blogs, not just a website. Having a website is good, but blogs are more dynamic because they have a lot of content. You put in a lot of content, all right? Content, thoughts, and ideas. And because you do that, when people search for that, you will rank first. Another thing you want to do on your blog is that you want to use keywords in writing. So, for example, you can put how to topics are powerful, and topics that have public speaking, topics that have Nigeria should be added in your blog, so that you can, when people search for that particular area, they can find you. Now that's for public speakers now. All right, so click on your industry and find out who comes out first. Click on network marketing, find out who comes out first. Click on Christian ministry in Nigeria, pastors in Nigeria, and find out who comes out first. Click on startup entrepreneurs, startup speakers in Nigeria, see who comes out first. If you want a position, then you want to start blogging, create a blog. The question is, how do you blog? Where do you get a blog? There are free blogs, all right, and there are paid blogs. We'll talk about that later. But to have a free blog easily, to get started easily, you need to go to blogger.com. Blogger.com will enable you to create a free blog, and in less than 5 minutes you have a blog where you can provide content and images and videos for you to be found on Google. So I want you to ask yourself this very important question: are you Googleable? Are you findable? If people look for you on the internet, will they find you? Will they find you in your area of industry? Will they even find your name? So you need to be thinking along those lines. Blogging will help you, not just having a website. The website is static. A blog is dynamic, so it's friendly. Use keywords. Another thing that will help you rank on the first page or second page, or at worst the third page of any Google search in your industry or your name, is to have a YouTube channel. And I just started that in I had a YouTube channel a few years ago, but I just started being active, providing a lot of content, because you want to start providing content. And it's not as difficult as you think. Now I'm using my phone right now to do this Facebook Live. I will download this video, download this video using a Facebook downloader, and then I'll share it to my YouTube channel. Like I said, if you have a Gmail account, you already have a YouTube channel. Alright, so I'm using a phone and I have two lights right in front of me. One light at my right and at the left, and then they're brightening so that I can have a better quality then. And then I'm doing this video. Alright, so I will quickly upload it on YouTube. So I'm going to give it a very catching title, a striking title, a searchable and findable title on YouTube, because YouTube is the world's #2 search engine. When you're thinking about search engines, you think of Google first, and the next thing you think about is YouTube. So I upload it. How do I just share from my gallery, my video, my media, straight to YouTube, and I have it there. Now, usually the YouTube channel will ask you for a title. The title has to be catchy. It has to be keyworded. It has to be keyword. For example, if I want to reach out to the public speaking industry, I will put public speaking in my title, and then I share it. And there's also a place called tagging. You cannot understand this until you try to upload a YouTube video. There's a place called tagging where I put keywords there, and I also describe the video so that when people find a search, they can find me. Does this make sense to you? Now, this is the difference between Facebook and Google. There is an unspoken rivalry between Facebook and Google. Facebook is social media. It's world's #1 social media. You have over 3 billion people on Facebook. 3 billion on Facebook. That means for every 7 persons you meet, 3 are on Facebook. I tell you right now, almost everybody I meet is on Facebook. All right, so Facebook is huge, and it's a social media giant. It's very monolithic, and it should be there. We'll talk about that in a jiffy. But when people are looking for entertainment, or they want to relax, or they want to get gist and gossip, they go to Facebook. When they're looking for content and they're looking for reliable materials, they're looking for knowledge, they don't go to Facebook. When they're looking for, unless a Facebook group, but their priority when they're looking for research materials and content for preparation of their speech is not to go to Facebook. Where do they go to? They go to Google, right? And they also go to YouTube. They go to YouTube. YouTube is like an online university where you can get anything you want. The interesting thing about YouTube and Google is that it is scattered library, so everything is there. That's why you still need a teacher to literally organize that scattered information into systematic, structured knowledge. So knowledge is organized information. That's why you need a teacher. A teacher translates scattered information. So a lot of people know things. We know about public speaking, but you need someone to take that information and then arrange it properly for you, and that's how you have a body of knowledge that you can use, that is functional, that is relevant. Does this make sense to you? So that's why you can go to the internet and search and get information. But when people are looking for content and they're looking for knowledge, they go to Google or they go to YouTube. Now, so to be positioned strategically on Google is to give people the perception that you are an expert. To be positioned strategically on Google, especially in the area of your industry, is to give people the perception that you are an expert. And when it comes to public speaking is about perception, it's about reputation, it's about branding, it's about credibility. And like we say, credibility, reputation facilitates persuasion. For you to impact people and make impressions on people, you have to be considered credible, you have to be considered reputable. So you want to find a way to position yourself strategically on Google, on the first page, on the second page. That's why I said you need to start blogging, and we'll talk about that extensively. And I said go to blogger.com and get the blog done for you, or go to wordpress.com. You need to write it down now. wordpress.com. Instead, you can create a blog in a short while. You also probably want to go to wix.com, wix.com, and then write down this information. See how you can create a blog. Well, these things have things that can help you. So people go to Google for content. So be there. Find a way to be there. Does this make sense? So that's how we use Google. That's how we use YouTube. You can use YouTube, you can do a YouTube. And now people take to me, George, I don't have cameras, I don't have quality stuff. How do I produce content, video content that is worthwhile, worth viewership? And I tell them, I say, look, people want you to be, we're doing a live, and people want to feel you, they want to see you. People don't just want to hear you, they want to feel you, they want to experience you, they want reality. They don't want edited videos. Now, edited videos and packaging has its place, but there's something about a Facebook Live, there's something about a YouTube Live. Of course, you know that there's a YouTube Live, right? There's also Instagram Live. There's something about that reality, that right now experience, that vulnerability of the speaker. He can make a mistake, can make an error, and yet still be pardoned. That connects with people deeply, that knows that this is not superficial, that it is deep. So take your phone, yes, your phone, and do YouTube videos. You can start. So you need some sufficient light. So if your room can't give you light, then you probably want to use outside. Do a video, use your car, do a video. Then as you get better, get some lights. Very affordable now. With 7,000 or 10,000 now, you get lights. You can even move on to get a microphone, a boom mic, or something like a mic you can use so that you can do videos. Now, this is also for pastors. If you're a pastor and you're having issues trying to reach out to your members, there was lockdown, and I thought to myself, how did the pastors cope? So you can still reach out to a lot of people and make a lot of impact. First of all, get a lot of your members are on Facebook. Get them to be on Facebook, because there's a digital revolution coming, and the world is moving. So you get them on Facebook, and then you create a Facebook group for your church members. So everybody's in that group. Since they know that Sunday service, you'll be on, if there's a lockdown again, that Sunday service, you'll go sit down in your room, and then there's praise and worship. And then when it's time for the word, you are there. Everybody's connected. They can watch that video. The interesting thing about Facebook Live, for example, is that you don't have to spend so much data in watching videos like this. I'm sure you didn't know that. So go ahead as a man of God to do that. If you're a pastor and into speaking, you can still run services that way. So Google has a huge place. Google has a huge place. Find a way to be ranked number one. Okay, so what other websites do you need to be familiar with? Because I said basically the internet is for content development, and as a speaker, you're preparing. If you've listened to me several, I've said that content is not king in public speaking. Yeah, true. It's just Prince. What is king? Delivery. The ability to deliver your presentation is king, right? But of course, content has its place. You can't just be passionate or zealous or without having content. So how do you get these materials? Google. There's another website you can search for. It will help you. Trust me, this website will give you all the materials you need for. This is like a bank, like a repository of ideas from top trainers, speakers, medical experts, health experts, personal development experts. Everybody puts in their ideas, like a magazine of articles and content on possibly every area you can think of in the world. Medicine, business, enterprise, multi-level marketing, e-commerce, whatever you're searching for, you can find it on ezine.com. ezine.com. Now go there and search for materials. If you're going to get content for your blog, because somebody says, I don't have stuff to write for my blog, it's very easy to do that. You can go to ezine.com, get materials from ezine.com or ezine, ezine.com, and then you can copy them and place them on your blog. But remember to acknowledge the source, the name of the person, so you're not plagiarizing. You're not, you want to acknowledge the source of the person that you got that material from in your blog. Why are you doing that in your blog? So that you can rank on Google. Why are you ranking on Google as in first page? So that you can be engaged, so that you can be seen. Is a person that is seen that gets engaged. A few years ago, I met a friend, and I'm really very grateful to him. We're very close brothers right now. We do a lot of meetings. When I'm in Lagos, I'm usually in his house. We're always meeting. Every time I'm in Lagos, we meet very often. Fantastic dear friend of mine. I used to be doing so well in my city, but I was struggling. And then as a speaker, I struggled so much. I had an office, I was doing stuff, I was doing seminars, but I was struggling because my scope was limited. Then one day he came and told me, he said something to me, he said, George, you need to be positioned strategically on the internet. And he told me about having a website. I didn't have the funds then, but I found money and then eventually gave him some money. And then he created a simple website for me. Such amazing thing he did. 2 weeks after having that website, I don't know what he did, but the website had the fact that I was a speaker, trainer, had images of some of the things I did. I got my first speaking gig with a top organization, and I got my first $1,000. And it was not even my city, it was outside my city. Just by strategically positioning myself on the internet, I got a speaking gig, and the rest is history. I've had plenty of speaking gigs. I've had platforms. I've gotten to meet governors, yes, because of being strategically positioned on the internet. And it can happen to you, especially when you know what stuff you are made of. When you know what stuff you're made of, then you need to be strategically positioned. You can have all the materials in life, in a particular area, and you're not positioned, and you miss out on opportunities. All right, so positioning is taking advantage of opportunities. Positioning is taking advantage of opportunity. You need to be positioned. You need to be seen. You need to be seen to be engaged. So get on Google, not just to get content, but also to be strategically positioned. How? Through blogging, through having your YouTube channel, through providing content, and so on. So eZine helps you to get materials. eZine also enables you to be found among the communities of intellectuals. Because you see, the eZine.com has other trainers and writers and contributors who are also searching for materials. So they can use your materials and reach out to you, to your website, and then reach out and get to engage you, especially international people. So eZine.com is a fantastic place. There are other places you can contribute your ideas. You want to go to medium.com. Medium.com. You know what medium.com is? Medium.com is also a very powerful platform, as powerful as Facebook is, and intellectuals are there, people who give thoughts. So you can also contribute your ideas at eZine. You can also contribute your ideas in medium.com. Remember, this helps you to rank, and this helps you to get engaged. So eZine.com is another website that is very interesting. As a speaker, what we do on the internet basically is that we search for materials. We're always looking for content, new materials. You don't want to sound stale when people listen to you. You want to be fresh, all right? You want to be robust in your presentation. You want to have new materials, new ideas. And the truth is that the internet is always updated. Somebody's doing something new. Somebody's doing so what I do is that I'm always going on Google, searching for materials, looking for stuff. I'm updated so that I'm not outdated. I know the current things happening in my industry. What is happening in your industry that you know about? What is happening in your industry that you don't know? Get acquainted. So I have a concept I call the concept of filing. It's a speech preparation methodology. It's a way to get materials in preparation for your coming engagement. And this coming engagement may not necessarily be physical presentations. They could be virtual presentations like this. By the way, Facebook Live is a fantastic virtual place to do presentations. And I'm really enjoying Facebook, okay? So I'm sure you can start using that to do group stuff. Zoom is also very fantastic. I now subscribe for Zoom monthly so that I can do specialized meetings and paid meetings. We having I think on the 25th we're doing something for people who are interested in sales. And for you who is a speaker, you need to understand the dynamics of sales, meeting your sales goals. And I'm doing it in a specialized, in a closed Zoom meeting, 3 hours intensive meeting on how to quadruple your sales. Because nothing succeeds until somebody sells. And even as a speaker, you can't succeed until you learn how to sell your service, your giftings, your product. We'll get into that in the future, but understand that I was trying to talk about the concept of filing. So when I go online and I get materials, I like to print a few things out. I have a printer, so I print them out. and I file them. For every subject I have, maybe I'm talking about business, startup ideas, I have this file, physical file really, where I put in materials. I used to do that online, have Microsoft Word that I keep, but sometimes I'm overwhelmed trying to look up for materials. But if I have files, literal files, where I have this file is for this, anything that has to do with business or multi-level marketing, any material, I'll print and I'll put them there. Images, pictures, statistics, quotes, stories. So I call it the concept of filing. If I have a presentation to do, I don't have to start going on the internet anymore. I've done that already. I've been searching. Every time I search, I print out some things, I write some things down, and I put them in that file. So I just go to that file in my house, I'll pick them out. Okay, these are startups. I'll search the ones I have, extract some quality information from that file, and then prepare my presentation. If I want more to be updated, I go to Google, I go to YouTube, get more materials, add them, and I can present. So it's called the concept of filing. It enables you to prepare effectively. So you want to start doing that. Even if you're a preacher, you need to start doing that so that you don't sound stale. Now let's move on to social media. What is the relationship between the public speaker and social media? Someone says, no, I don't like social media. I don't want to do social media. We're going to look at a few things. Let's start with Facebook. Why should a public speaker be on Facebook? I'll give you 3 reasons. Number 1, a public speaker should be on Facebook for brand development. If I click on your Facebook account today, what do I see? Remember that, you see, everything is about perception. Even public speaking is about perception. If I go on your Facebook account, your normal Facebook account, what do I see? How do you arrange your Facebook profile? Do I see something that shows that you are a speaker? What's the description about you? What do you put out your portfolio? What you're involved in, what you're doing? Do I see that in your profiling? What's your cover picture looking like? What's your profile picture looking like? What's your feature pictures looking like? Does it show that you're a speaker? Until you are seen and perceived as a speaker, you cannot be engaged. It will even determine your pricing. People won't take you seriously. Start with your Facebook account. Just by doing that, you can literally optimize your Facebook account in a manner that generates you crazy money. Alright, so if you have a website, we should see that on your Facebook account. If you have a phone number, you want us to reach you there, we should. So use that to brand. Now go to your posting. What do you post on your Facebook account? What tells the audience that you're a speaker? You should provide content on a regular basis, daily, weekly, as you can. For me, I'll say daily. And not even daily, 3 times a day. The minimum to do to get the kind of traction that you seek is daily, 3 times a day for as long as you can. So this is what I did. I have a number of accounts. I have my own account. I also have a Facebook page, and I have groups like this. So I've employed 3 persons so that they are the ones who know where to get materials, my materials and other materials, and they put out the content. So sometimes you think I'm the one putting out those content on my Facebook page or in the Facebook groups, but they are my staff who I pay on a monthly basis to put out those contents online. Because see, one of the things that you notice about social media, especially Facebook, is that the algorithm of Facebook enables you to get a lot of followership. And if you have a Facebook account and you keep providing content, quality content, Facebook shows your content to people. Content to people who start to see it, and people who start to follow you. So if you have 5,000 persons, you now start having followers. Have you seen that? For me, I have 9,000 followers. The people who have 50,000, 60,000 followers because they provide content. So you need to keep putting content every day to give people the perception that you are the speaker to be engaged. So you can give written content out. You can put image content. You can go to Canva, download Canva on your phone and create quotes, your quotes, another people's quotes, and put them there. Go to Google Images, get some quotes, and let people know that something, every time they go to your page, they'll get something quality. And if you are very good, like I believe I am, you can provide video content from your account. People can see you, your friends can see you and appreciate it. Now, so brand development is important. Now, when you have friends and colleagues on your Facebook account, guess what happens? A lot of them are your colleagues. When you open the Facebook account, your roommates, your schools from way back, secondary school, they all came around to like and be your person, right? But you see, they may not do business with you, but they can give you referrals. They may sometimes look at your post and not like it, but they are seeing it and they can say, oh, that guy is my friend from way back, and they can give you a referral, right? So that's important. Put it out there. So, but if you really want to do business with Facebook and truly brand and sculpt yourself, you want to move and have a Facebook page. What did I say? A Facebook page. So, brand development also means that you want to have and create a Facebook page. Go and create a Facebook page and grow it. So I have Facebook pages for my organization, and for me, George Asen as a brand, I also have a Facebook page and have likes and followers. For followers, I have 9,000 followers who like that page, and I also provide content in that place. When you have a Facebook page, you can do business with Facebook, actual business. That means you can give Facebook money, and Facebook will take that money and advertise what you're doing. You cannot do business with Facebook literally on your Facebook account. If you have a Facebook account and you put out your business, what you're selling, only your friends and family will look at it and see it and like it. And maybe those who follow you. Doesn't mean that they're going to patronize you. Not all the time. So if you want people to patronize you, you want to move to have a Facebook page. So people on your Facebook account are your friends, but people on your Facebook page are your fans. They are the people who engage you, your customers, your potential clients. So you want to move there. You want to move to your Facebook page and start putting out content on a regular basis. I put out content on my Facebook page every single day because Facebook is for brand development. It doesn't have to mean I pay people to do that, right? Now, if you want to take it a step further, you can start boosting your page. What did I say? You can boost your page. You can boost the content. First of all, you can, with as little as 500 naira, you can boost the content on your page on a daily basis. So there was a time when I do 5,000 naira Facebook ads, I just click on it and I put in my account details and I target. So sometimes I want people from Lagos or people from Abuja to see my content. So I boost that content and I target people from Lagos. That's the beautiful thing about Facebook. Facebook enables you to target the people you want to see. What kind, it will ask you about the age, the demographics, the men or women. It will ask you about what their interest could be. So you do all of that targeting, put in your account details, and then those people will see it and probably like or comment on that page. Of course, they announce. So that's the beautiful thing about Facebook. Facebook enables you to target people out of your fold. Facebook advertising enables you to do that, and you can expand your brand that way. You know, the beautiful thing about Facebook advertising is that it does not respect so if I target leaders, if I target politicians, if I target community leaders, and I target Lagos, Ikeja on my Facebook ads, if the governor is on Facebook at that time and he's a community leader and he's a leader, guess what will happen? He will see my ad. He will see it as a sponsored ad. So I'm reaching the governor because I did Facebook ads. So Facebook advertising, because of numbers of persons there, enables you to target people and show yourself, because for you to be engaged, you have to be seen. And that's part of brand development, all right? So you need to have a Facebook page. You can boost your posts and have your content, show the level of your content. You can also boost your videos, so you can have a lot of video engagement. For those of you who are comedians who want to get people, you put your skit out there, you boost it and people see it, and then probably put your phone number or your website or your handles and people reach out to you. You can boost. You can also do something more with Facebook advertising. And like I said, Facebook is for brand development. This is what you want to do now. You go to your phone, pick up your phone, and go to your Play Store. Whether you're using an Android phone or you're using an Apple phone, or an Apple iPhone, whatever iPhone, go to the Play Store of that device, mobile device, and download Ad Manager. Download Ad Manager. Just download it into your phone. That is one powerful way to spread your influence and impact more. It's also a very powerful way to make a lot of money as a speaker. So download into your phone, and the next thing you want to do is that, of course, you need to have a Facebook page. The Facebook page also needs to have a very good cover page, cover picture. That cover picture should be done well. Get your graphic designer to do it well, or go to Canva and look up for cover picture. Do it very well. All right, and then you also want to have a decent picture, a picture that shows the kind of personality or brand that you want to project on your profile picture. Of course, the listing of whatever, do it very well. Make sure it is done very well. Put your website, put your phone number, because they should not struggle to find your number if you're a speaker that wants to be engaged. And then, so once you do that and you have an ad, you have the ad manager, it automatically added. If you have a Facebook page, you already have an ad manager. So you can start posting content and boosting it. You can put videos and boost it beautifully. You can also direct traffic to your landing page. We'll talk about landing pages and sales pages later, when you want to start making crazy money. You can direct people to your landing page, to your website, and generate. And when people go to your website, they see something there, they see a copy, they see content, they see video, and they see a product, and they buy, they purchase. Does it make sense to you? So this sequence is not something I'm going to teach today. Like I said, this topic will go on for a number of days, but your ad manager can do a whole lot for you. You can boost your page and make people see and like your page, and this is powerful. So let me talk about pastors now, because I'm a Christian and I'm a church person. And so a pastor who lives in one community in Sokoto can become very, very influential in Lagos by putting out his content and boosting it, and by putting out his video, or by directing people to where his audio materials are. Maybe Anchor, you're directing people to Anchor.fm, or directing people to your YouTube channel, and people can begin to see you, feel you, experience how much insight you have, and then possibly engage you. Most of you know Apostle Selman. Apostle Selman stays in Kaduna, I think Zaria. Apostle Selman, amazing man of God. He makes a lot of money. He became very that influential just because of the internet, because people started seeing his materials and sharing his materials. So let me not digress. I'm not talking to pastors, I'm talking to public speakers. By the way, pastors are also public speakers, so this can be relevant today. Brand development is what you use Facebook to do. Number two thing you use Facebook to do as a speaker is use it to meet clients. People private chat you. On your Facebook ads, you can click on, I want messenger. I want people to send me messages. And then you give them some money. For you to gain traction with Facebook advertising, you want to do like 10,000 naira 10 days, because the advertisement has to be bulk and has to be consistent. I do close to 50,000 naira weekly for advertising, not just my brand, my products, my services, and I can do 3 times, 5, sometimes 5 times, sometimes 10 times that amount of money when I invest in Facebook advertising. It's crazy. It doesn't give you 100%, it gives you 1,000%, it gives you 500% return on investment. That's if everything is done right. Now, a lot of things have to be put right, from your copy to your targeting to your landing page, the quality of your landing page, to your guarantees, to your, all of that stuff have to be in place for when they come to your site, to the quality of your content. Because when they come and read the content or they read the copy and they purchase the product and it's not what they were, they will tell people or they won't come back again. So you use Facebook to meet clients. You meet a lot of people. All right, so it's important that you are on Facebook, and also use Facebook to influence people, to put out your thoughts, to be a thought leader. So Facebook is important. Have a Facebook page so you can do business with Facebook. Use your Facebook account well. Now, I was listening to somebody the other day, fantastic guy I respect so much. His name is David Emeyi. David Emeyi considers himself as Africa's #1 business strategist and consultant to MLM people, to network marketers. And he said something striking the other day. He said that when you look at when you go on Facebook and you see somebody, a post that has over 1,000 comments and 1,000 likes with many shares, he said you read the content, right? And then you see some people make some very funny nonsense comments. Most times you click on them because we are very nosy. You click on them to go and search, who is this guy? Why is he like? Why is he thinking? And you look at his profile, you look at his image. This guy is a crazy guy. You go down, check his pictures, see this guy is a crazy guy, right? We do that. There are times when you look at somebody, put out very intelligent thought. You're like, wow, people are intelligent. You click on that guy, and then you go and look at him. And if he's making so much sense, he's providing so much content, you click and you see, oh, he already has 5,000 friends. The next thing that you do is that you click on follow. And you start following him. Now the thing is that you will start seeing his posts, but he won't see your posts. You're following him and you're seeing his posts. Now, do you know that people also do that to you? So when you comment on something very interesting or exciting on your post, or in the comment, David Emeyi said that, and somebody clicks on it, let me see who this guy is. Let me see who this and go and then look, and there's nothing to show. All right, there's nothing to show on your Facebook page or Facebook account that you're serious. Oh, this guy is one of those guys, and then he dumps you, goes away. But he clicks on it and he comes there, and then he sees that, wow, this guy's a speaker, this guy's a trainer. Oh boy, look at his website. Let me click on that, and wow, this guy is big. Let me follow him. He follows you, and then he follows your thoughts. One day you put an offer out for a seminar, for a training, for a live training, for a virtual meeting training that is paid. This guy makes a lot of sense. I think I'll get value. Makes payments. they've gotten a client, they've gotten a customer, they've gotten a prospect. Doesn't make sense. When people come to your Facebook account, they shouldn't be seeing other people's posts. Because when people put out posts, they tag you. They tag you. When they tag you, it appears on your timeline. Watch, if that post is quality, when people visit your Facebook account, your homepage of your Facebook account, and that's like your landing page, they see something quality, they click on that person's stuff and go away from your account. That's not what you want them to do. You want them to stay in your account and check your pictures out. You've got to be very careful about the pictures you put out there. There should be a lot of pictures of you with suit, corporate, with you doing trainings, you doing virtual meetings, with you with quality people. It's about perception, with you and your family, so that people say this guy is a real person. All right. So how do you clear out people tagging you? How do you untag them? How do you prevent them from tagging you? Basically, you go to your settings, look out for allow tags or not allow tags. Click on that, say do not allow tags, so that anybody who tags you, you have to give the person permission for it to appear on your timeline. This is very important. Did that make sense? So there's a lot to talk about Facebook. For a speaker, you need to have a Facebook group for your organization, for your business. Like this is a Facebook group. Facebook is more, the algorithm of Facebook is more favorable to Facebook groups than it is favorable to Facebook accounts. Now, do you know that there are times you go on Facebook and you're looking for, you're not, I'm posting, have you not seen my post? I've not seen your post too. Because of course, the algorithm of Facebook is favorable towards images. When you put a lot of images out, if you use images, you get a lot of traction. If you do a lot of videos, you get a lot of traction. That's in your account. But most times, your friends don't see your post. And you don't even see their post, right? Because the algorithm of Facebook is always changing. But not so with Facebook groups. You did get that now? Not so. Facebook group is optimized for everyone to see. So as long as you are active on that, you go to your Facebook, you can see all the information that needs to be seen. So even this video, once we are done with it, it stays here. Somebody who is on this group, who comes to this group, he can search, he can look, he can find. The algorithm will show him first what he has missed. It just, so having a Facebook group is powerful, and growing your Facebook group is important. You want to grow your community. You want to grow your community online. Community influencing. Virtual people can eventually become actual people. I've done, and I'm not going to talk about WhatsApp. Maybe the next meeting, next time we have this conversation, I will talk about WhatsApp, how to use WhatsApp and how to use Telegram. These are powerful message chat platforms that a speaker can use to generate. I made 4 million naira January last year from WhatsApp trainings alone. WhatsApp trainings. Can you imagine that? So you can use your WhatsApp as a speaker and optimize. And I reach out to, and I didn't just make money, I met a lot of people from WhatsApp. And I have different groups, and then I've gotten speaking engagements. Right now I'm in the city of Calabar. Last week I was in Lagos, and next week I'm in Port Harcourt. And that contact was established. The people who reach out to me are from my WhatsApp meetings. When I'm in Lagos, and there's a time I did an event, George Asian Live in Lagos, and we only used WhatsApp. It was a paid event, and the place was jam-packed because we did Facebook advertisement and gathered people to come to WhatsApp group, and then pitch and told them what to do. They made the payment to the account, and we gave them seat reservations. When we got to the event was already filled with people using WhatsApp. So there's a lot to talk about WhatsApp and how to use to do events, conventions, workshops that I will show you in the coming days. So this is going to run as a series. Remind me to teach you about WhatsApp and Telegram as a very powerful tool. Of course, the idea of WhatsApp is to build communities, grow your own network, grow your own community. And Facebook groups also enables you to grow your communities, and you can grow it to 10,000. Interestingly, we have 2,900 people here. Our goal for 2021 is to reach, by God's will, we're doing everything to do that, to reach 20,000 followers, not just followers, or people here in this community, public speakers, 20,000 public speakers from all the world, India, Singapore, Malaysia, Nigeria, in this group. Imagine having 20,000 people in your group. Just imagine that. Imagine the potential. That means that if 500 or 1,000 or 2,000, if 10% of them respond to your offer, respond to your advert, just at 2,000 naira. Okay, if 500 of them respond to your offer at 1,000, a 1K course, a 1K ebook, if just 500 of them out of the 20,000 of them respond to it, that's how much? That's 500K. So you've generated money. So you want to find a way to grow your Facebook group. And the question is, how do you grow your Facebook group? Some of you came from WhatsApp. Some of you joined this group recently from WhatsApp. Some of you found this group. This group I used to have a name before, and that name was something else, but I decided to change the name to Public Speaking School Online. The name of our organization is Podium Dynamics Academy, but we just changed the name to Public Speaking School Online. And because we did public speaking is a very search-friendly word on Facebook. So people are looking for it. When they look up for public speaking, they see us among, and they see that we have 2,009, they join. So you can use a keyword for the name, and then you can also give out freebies, give out content. People can, and you can help us share this to other groups. You can share this to groups, and as you share it, because you've opened up this group, it's a public group, you share it, people will come in here because you shared it, and that grows this community. Does it make sense? So you can grow your community, and churches, pastors can grow their communities. Public speakers should have your community, have a tribe that you are growing. Have I done justice to? I'm still going to look at Facebook. Is a whole lot. There's a lot to learn about Facebook. There's so much to learn about Facebook. You can master, if you master Facebook, you make so much impact. Like I said, that Facebook is for entertainment and for stuff, but that's why not a lot of you are here. Only people who are interested are here, and it's because we're in a group. That's why a lot of you are paying attention to this. But we use Facebook to direct people to where they should go get content, blogs, YouTube, and so on and so forth. So I do that a lot, and you can do that and get traction. So let's get away from Facebook, right? Let's go to Twitter. What is the relationship of the public speaker and Twitter? Should you be on Twitter? Yes. 1,000 times yes. Was Twitter is like a microblog, number 150 characters. And if you notice one thing about Donald Trump was just banned from Twitter. And I think that Donald Trump made Twitter huge. When Donald Trump was banned from Twitter, we had a lot of people leaving Twitter. Twitter has a sizable number, even though they're not making so much profit. The only way you make profits from Twitter is social influencers, people who are Twitter pro. I used to have a friend. He's my friend. I was in Lagos and I met him. His name is Emeka Obia, and he has over 23,000 followers on Twitter. So if I want to do events and I want to drive traffic to my website, I would, Emeka, how you doing now? What's up? I have this event to, Abeg, help me post. Sorry, I'm speaking in pidgin, but I do that. It's my friend, it's my buddy. Abeg, help me post this on your Twitter handle. So he posted there, and people who are there on his followers, literally going, and so he makes money. Sometimes people pay him money to drive that conversation or to push out projects. There are people that pay a lot of people to Twitter is very strong. I know some of you like Twitter. Twitter is for intellectuals. Twitter is that part. Use Twitter for influence. So you can grow your Twitter. How do you grow your Twitter? By commenting on other people's other influencers, by there's something called using hashtags, by using arts, mentioning other people. That's how you grow your Twitter. It's a slow process, it's not as easy. Algorithm doesn't favor people now. It's not as smooth as it used to be, but you have to be a top influencer from outside to have that huge traffic. I don't even have a huge traffic on Twitter. I'm not so much on Twitter, but I work with influencers. So you can use Twitter. You can send a direct image to somebody, maybe Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala or somebody top on Twitter. The person will respond to you directly because it gets to him. His DM, it gets to him. But Twitter is fantastic. A lot of things happen on Twitter. I mean, what happened? EndSARS thing was made happen by Twitter. The Save Occupy Nigeria happened because of Twitter and social media. So Twitter is powerful. And for the public speaker, you can become an influencer, or you can promote your meetings working with influencers who have huge numbers, giving them materials to run for you. Enough said about Twitter. Now, this is so very important. What is the relationship of the public speaker and LinkedIn? LinkedIn, that is LinkedIn. Have you heard of LinkedIn before? And I tell you, friends, you've got to be on LinkedIn. I was listening to a friend of mine, not a friend, a senior colleague. He's passed on now. He passed on last year, but still grieving his death. Obon King made his first tens of millions. I think it was 58 million or so from a security job from just putting out his content on his profile on LinkedIn and just engaging in conversation on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is for professionals. It helps you to connect with top professionals. So do you have a LinkedIn account? Go and have a LinkedIn as a leader, as a social entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur, as someone who's a thought leader, who's a pastor, or someone who has a profession. Go and have a LinkedIn account. Connect it with your Facebook account. This LinkedIn account enables you to put out your profile and engage in conversations with other people. So what that means is that you need to have a fantastic profile of yours done. Someone saying, no, you don't understand. I've not achieved anything. With what you have achieved so far, somebody can put together a fantastic profile for you. So you're not just about posting stuff on LinkedIn. You want to put out quality content about you, about who you are and what you are. Somebody can script it for you. Pay somebody to script your profile and put it on LinkedIn. Remember that this is about perception. The internet is about perception. So if you want people to see you as a man of God, you profile yourself in such a way through writing out your accomplishments, what you have done, who you have met, on what TV series you have done, what television program you have been on. If you have been on CNN, put it that. If you have met with people, profile yourself properly on LinkedIn. If you want to be seen as a top-notch speaker in a particular niche, like business or health, you want to profile yourself. Your profiling determines your impact. How your position. Your profiling is your positioning. That's strong. Your profile is positioning you for greatness, is positioning for engagement. Somebody reads and say, wow, is this guy? Whoa, who is this guy? Okay, let's reach out to him. Let's see if he's who he says he is. Let people read your profile and say wow. If they don't say wow, then it's not a good profile. So get somebody to do your profile, and they can use LinkedIn to promote yourself, especially in your area of industry. So profiling is important, and connecting with top professionals on LinkedIn is important. So I'll give you some other, I'll give you one more site that you should put your profile in. Now, a lot of people invite me for programs and say, sir, can we have a little bit of your profile? I already have a website, so I should go to my website, /about-me, and then you can see my profile. JorgeACN.com, look up for me, about me, and then you can see my profile. But there are people who cannot afford to have a website for now. So if you're a speaker and you can't afford to have a website for now, don't tell them to your social media handle, because it doesn't give you that opportunity. They have to do a lot of searching. I'll give you a website that you can just create almost right now. Again, the work will be in putting together your content, your profile content. Go to about.me. about.me. Click that, write that down, about.me, and then put out your profile. And then you can put it on if you have a website, you can put it on your WhatsApp status, you can put it on your Facebook page. If anybody asks you, we want to introduce you, what's your profile? How do you, okay, about.me /JorgeACN, that's my own, about.me /JorgeACN, and quickly people can find you out and read about your profile and engage you. It also helps the MC who is trying to bring you up to properly introduce you. Sometimes they're doing that, you're just putting stuff on paper and struggling to write everything about you, and the MC is like, okay, he doesn't do a good job in bringing you up on stage. And you need that quality addressing so as to pre-frame the audience to see you as an authority, so that your delivery can be stronger and persuasion can be made possible. So if the MC does a lousy job, you have to now come and start doing your own pre-framing, your own talk to tell them that, look, I'm the guy you need to listen to. So, but if you have an about.me stuff, about.me / your name, the MC can actually click on that and then read from it your profile. The summarized version of your profile. Does it make sense? So about.me is what you need to have that will help you in speaking and moving yourself forward. All right, so let's move away from that and go to Instagram, and we'll stop here today. Our part 2 will continue from here and talk about many other things. You don't want to miss this series. Maybe I might do it next week Saturday, I don't know. So want to follow me on Facebook, go to George Asian. If you're on Facebook, George Asian. If you're on YouTube, click on George Asian and you get to see this video. And you need to watch this again so that you can listen to it and take down proper notes. A lot of you are just watching and not taking down notes. You want to take down notes. That's how to learn. All right, so let's talk about Instagram. Now, Instagram is a social media platform. And by the way, before I talk about Instagram, now I'm not going to overwhelm you. What I'm doing actually is showing you different platforms you can use. But the truth is that you cannot be on all of them at the same time. You get overwhelmed, you get inundated. So you want to select your preferred platform. I will prefer that you do have a lot of engagement on Google, on Facebook. You may not do Twitter because Twitter is very you can do Twitter if you want, but there are platforms I would encourage you. WhatsApp, WhatsApp as against Telegram. WhatsApp is more engaging, even though they have some restrictions. And Instagram, even in doing Instagram, you've got to be careful, because Instagram for the speaker is for promotion. You promote yourself. In selling, we look at three things. First of all, we look at branding, we look at packaging, and then we look at promotion. That's selling. For the speaker, you have to brand yourself, then you have to package yourself, and then you want to promote. If you don't do that sequence, you don't effectively sell as a speaker. So promotion is done on Instagram. And Instagram is also used for branding yourself. You want to brand yourself to give you the perception of who you are. So, and also Instagram is used for events display. You have an event, you have something, you show the pictures. And so what drives traffic on Instagram is pictures and quality videos. So Instagram Live is powerful if you have a huge following. Those people will watch out your Instagram Live. But for you to engage people from outside, you want to do quality images. So you want to invest in having good cameras, using good cameras, color grading, and softwares that can help you make your pictures come out sharp. Instagram deals with a lot of images, so that's what drives traffic on Instagram. And maybe one of these days, I will teach you how to use Instagram well. Instagram is mostly for entertainers, for people who are in the food business, who want to show and display their cuisines. It's for people who are in the fashion business, people who want to display their stuff, people who have products, who are into advertising, they're into advertorials. You can use it. And the beautiful thing about your ad manager, I told you to download ad manager, right? Is that with ad manager, you can actually run Facebook ads at the same time run Instagram ads. So you can reach out to your Instagram community. Facebook also owns Instagram. Actually, they bought Instagram, was it 2012? They bought Instagram in 2012 from, I think, Kelvin Systrom. He bought it to 2012 for, I think, $1 billion. And they moved it from 150 members to over 1 billion. Facebook is huge. So if you have a Facebook account, you can easily create an Instagram account for yourself. Instagram is huge too and has its own place, but it's for optics. Now, the thing about Instagram is that, let me talk about Nigeria. I know that Africa is huge and I may not have done my studies and research. Not every state uses Facebook. For example, in Lagos, Facebook is not that. People don't talk too much about Facebook. What we will talk about in Lagos? We talk about Twitter. Oh, there's Twitter, there's Insta blogs, very, very powerful in Lagos. In Abuja, in Calabar, Uyo, Port Harcourt, yes, you can do a lot of Facebook. So if you're doing advertising, if you advertise on Facebook and you target Lagos, you may get results, but not as much as if you did Instagram or if you did Twitter promotion. Do you get the point? So you want to be careful about how you use this stuff. Let's move to the last thing. Okay, so that's basically what we want to share with you today. I don't want to go because there's still a lot to talk about. And we have a course where we teach on digital marketing. And everybody who is a speaker needs to go and do an upgrade of yourself. We live in very interesting times. For a lot of speakers I know, it was tough for them during the lockdown. Very tough because they didn't know what to do. But I started in my house and I was making millions. I was selling online products. I was selling videos, I was selling ebooks, I was selling audio materials from people from Ghana, Kenya. I was targeting Ethiopia, Rwanda, and I was generating cash in my own city. I was receiving alerts every day from my intellectual property. And a lot of you watching me today have great ideas, great content, great, and most of you even do better delivery than I'll do. But you're not positioned. So what you need to do now is to start learning. Go back, take a digital marketing course, an online training, so that you can start understanding this. Because there is the artistic dimension of speaking, which you probably have, but there is the business dimension or the technological dimension of speaking, which is a lacuna, which is a gap in your life. So you want to take digital marketing since 2018. I decided to do that, and it turned my business around. It made me more comfortable. So even when we don't have speaking gigs, we have virtual meetings. I'm engaging more, and I'm having fun. I'm meeting people, I'm branding myself, I'm getting more, I'm traveling too because of my virtual interactions with people, and it can happen to you too. So let me quickly invite you for two meetings I will be doing in the next few days. And maybe you'll be watching this long after these meetings are done, but if you're watching it now, this is important that you know. There will be a meeting your sales target Zoom meeting, and it's going to cost about I think $8 or so. It's a 3-hour event where I'll be showing you how to meet your sales target. If you're into selling, you're an entrepreneur, you need to be part of that meeting. If you sell services like a speaker, you need to be part of that meeting. We're also going to be going deeper into studying digital marketing, how you can start marketing your product, how you can start marketing all the things you need to put in place that should be for you to help you in marketing. Then we'll also be looking at digital marketing, 10 specific areas that you must focus on that will help you succeed and master digital marketing. How to create irresistible offers that people can not say no to. You want to be part of it, and it's just $8, and it's like almost free. Once you make payment of the $8, what happens is that I'm going to give you a free audio into your phone or into your email, and the idea is that audio is on how to sell anything to anyone at any time. That audio is powerful. In fact, it costs a lot, but I'm going to give it to you for that amount of money. So the training is actually free, but I'm giving you that audio for that amount of money. It will turn your thinking around and help you to become a salesperson, because the speaker who wants to survive and succeed has to be a quality salesperson. So you don't want to miss it. What I'm going to do is at the end of this video, I'll put the link. So I'll put the WhatsApp link. You go there and then get all the information and then make the payments, and then when the Zoom class happens, I'll add you up. I'll send you the details, and you can join us. I also get the audio material. That's the first one. So if you are a multi-level marketer and you're watching this and you're interested in improving your public speaking skills, or you're a speaker, then you want to be part of our training on the 31st of January. The 31st, a few days from now. The meetings or sales target will happen on the 25th, and that other one, public speaking for networkers, will happen on the 31st. How do you pitch? How do you talk? What are the things you need to know to speak and get people, whether it is virtual like we're doing or actual? How can you get customers and prospects coming and running to you? You need to learn these, and I have the answers for you. No one will teach you public speaking in Nigeria better than I would. I dare you to try me and prove me wrong. Join our programs and you'll be shocked. That training will open you up to a lot of things. Lastly, this is continuous. You can become my student. Like I said, you don't want to have scattered information. Maybe you follow me on Facebook or you follow me here and you get this knowledge, and that knowledge is scattered. It's not sequential. It's not systematic. You need structured, arranged information, organized information that is now a body of knowledge. And I can help you that. We have an 18-course program on public speaking. It's quite expensive, but all you simply have to do, I'll put my number also, my WhatsApp number, so you can reach out to me and have a conversation with me about that. I'll put up my WhatsApp number so that you can reach out to me, or probably put my number here. You can call me so you can have a conversation about that. How you can go through and arrange all of these areas, including public speaking on the internet, all of these things, and master public speaking. Listen to me, public speaking is not a local skill. It's a global skill. It's a universal skill. It will put you on the world stage. It will take you to platforms that you can never ever imagine. So master it. Don't just have knowledge or have information. Have it as a skill and be taught by a teacher, and let me be that teacher of yours. I hope you got so much value. Do me this favor, share this video to your friends. If you're on YouTube, copy the link and share it to people. Let them watch, let them learn, especially those that are speakers. Share this video to your friends, to your MLM friends, your public speaking friends, your pastor friends, people that you feel that want to have content and knowledge. Just share, and then make comments about. If you have any question, you can put the comment. If you're watching this on Facebook, put out the comment on Facebook. You're watching this on YouTube, also put out the comment. I read everything and I'm going to answer you directly. If you want me to also reach out to you, you can also put out your number and I will call you, or one of my people or persons will call you and answer you. I like to leave you with these words. That you see, we're living very trying times and there's a digital revolution coming up. It's massive. A lot of things will change. Are you the 21st century speaker? I'll see you some other time. God bless.